Kerry were behind at half-time, and by some margin they wouldn't have come back against 15. The problem is not Jim Gavin's, it's Cooper's, who should have known he's hanging by a thread. If Dublin had such a degree of confidence in their ability to score and power towards the finish line, he didn't need to panic, and he could have defended with a bit more conservatism, says Jarlath. Jim Gavin getting a hard time in your book for the Cooper one?
Yeah, I just think, and you're out in the heat of battle, it's a totally different ball game, and you're just concentrating. Johnny Cooper yesterday was concentrating on the next tackle, the next ball. People are criticising Jim Gavin. I really don't understand it. As that text said, they played an All-Ireland final for 40 minutes with a man less. They eked out a draw. They possibly should have gone on to win it with the late chances that they had, and still Jim Gavin is being questioned. I think credit to the Dublin setup. They had full belief in what they did. They never looked like they were panicking. They were calm right to the end, and I think Sean O'Shea, smart foul over on the sideline yesterday, because he couldn't risk Dublin player going past him and all of a sudden a free maybe 10 yards closer to goal or a free shot. Yeah. I just think credit to everybody involved yesterday. It was a remarkable performance from both teams.
It was brilliant, yeah. First minute with juice in his legs, does Dean Rock kick that free? Was that a tired effort, or is it just really, really tough? You've been
incredibly tough. Yeah. I thought he might kick it because he's for me he's up there with the best of place kickers in the game. Possibly could have done it. And for me, the standout moment for me yesterday was there was a 2 or 3 minute spell right in injury time where Kerry could not get out of their own 45. Yeah. Happened down in front of me in the Hogan stand. They had an extra man. Every one of Jim Gavin's army had pushed up on them, and they didn't even have the space to get out past their own 45. That is the credit that this Dublin team deserve, and if they're going to do 5 in a row, they are going to deserve every single bit of credit that they get.
Yeah, it's true. Come here, will you do me a favour next time you're in work alongside Johnny Cooper? Will you ask him what it exactly, and I mean exactly, does it mean when the lad with the ball puts his hand up in the air? What is this signal? Did you see Small do that?
No, I wasn't minding that, no.
116 apiece. 116 apiece, he has the ball by the touchline at the Cusack. Has the ball in one hand, and he just stops and puts his hand up like a Black Power salute kind of thing almost.
Yeah, maybe trying to show off the guns.
I think it was almost on TV, Kevin McStay and Ger Canning certainly took it as right, that's the signal to everyone just slow down and like reset for a second. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know exactly what it means.
Yeah, and I just think, again, as I said, my favourite part of the game yesterday was watching Kerry trying to get out, and that those last dying moments, and even with an extra man, and Dublin, just to repress was so incredible, and fair dues to them.
You know the brown surface around the touchline? That's in no way slippy, I presume. That's AstroTurf.
Yeah,
just because I was looking at Dean Rock.
There's a bit of a run off there, and then you're onto maybe what feels like a bit like a track surface or whatever. But
I don't think it would have affected Rock. But by the same token, you don't routinely take frees from over there on that surface. I'm sure he must have just thought, I don't quite feel myself.
His starting position might have been past the end of the grass or whatever. But
I think he would have taken a slightly longer run up for a kick at that distance.
I think 2 more yards in, and this is my point about Sean O'Shea.
Yeah.
I don't think it was tiredness. I think it was smart. When you look at the tackle, it's around the neck. It's yellow card.
Yes.
You're not going past me, and you're not getting in closer to goals.
If Rock takes it out of the hands, he can steal the yard or two with his run up.
Potentially he could, but again, only Dean Rock knows. And you'll know, Dean Rock is so calculated in everything that he does. There's certain kicks 9 times out of 10 are from his hands, and there's certain kicks all other times are from the floor, and he knows his best. And I think he backed himself yesterday, because I thought, what are the runners like here? Is he going to go short? And the fact that Dean Rock, he's ice cold in everything that he does, he fancied that yesterday, and I fancied him to get it, but in no way would I fault him for not.
Did you fancy him to get it? I thought no chance. I just thought it was too tough a kick, too tiring, the pressure. I won't lie as well, I had a flash across my head, my mind of, does it kind of suit Diarmuid Connolly out of the hands?
Yeah, I think having scored 10 points or thereabouts in the game, I thought he's allowed. And again, maybe just coming back to the Jim Gavin thing, I think we need to give more credit to Kerry management for the way they approached the game and how they operated, but also to Jim Gavin. Diarmuid Connolly on any other day would have kicked that point outside of the right. As I said earlier, he worked himself into a brilliant position, and that's why I wouldn't be as critical as some of the texters there. But what I will say is we have a serious sideline battle coming up the next day, and I for one am thoroughly looking forward to it.
There were shades of Salah Ramos 2018 Champions League final in the Clifford Cooper entanglement. Clifford's arm came out, Cooper held on, and he suffered the consequences, says Paul. Lads, what's all this rubbish in the media saying that Dublin were lucky and didn't play well? I don't think anyone said lucky. Certainly their big players didn't play well, has been said. Anyway, the texture goes on. With 55 minutes on the clock and a man behind, Dublin were cruising. There was a brief Kerry blitz for 11 minutes, and then Kerry had nothing for the final 13. It's probably a bit harsh on Kerry's first half, as I think it was Enda said. 5 points down didn't reflect the first half. But then again, that's what Dublin do.
That's what they do, and probably we were all going into the game saying Kerry need 3 goals, if not 4.
They had their chances.
I tell you what, they delivered on that. They eked out those chances.
They're going to have to take them the next day.
And my opinion on this game going into it was, you've got the best set of forwards in the country going in against the second best set of forwards in the country, and that's why I think Kerry still have a chance the next day. They will have grown hugely, and you talk about the Kerry defence and people saying they're just not good enough and so on. A full summer of Kerry buzzing as they have been this year, with those guys marking the Cliffords, the Sean O'Sheas, the Gainies and so on. They're improving every single session to go out. And as a unit yesterday,
great point actually.
I felt yesterday it wasn't going to be down to a duel, an individual duel. It was going to be down to the Kerry defence as a unit. And I thought what they did better than most teams this summer was, when the likes of Mannion, Khan and all these guys got on the ball, they were able to double up on them, and it was a tactic, and I think they did it really well.
It's actually, I hadn't heard that point made, but it's a great one. For all the talk of the Kerry defensive frailties, they are marking one of the best forward lines in the country in training. They can't not get better very quickly over time. And I know from my own experience back when I used to be marking Joe Higgins in training and so on, back in those early days, that he'd get a block, and all during my head in the following week would be, I'm going to dummy him this week and get out by him. And I just know that kind of competition makes you better, and credit to Kerry, they were fantastic yesterday. Yeah, I can't wait for 2 weeks, I must say. And a final one from Paul in Sligo. Dublin will be better prepared in 2 weeks' time, blah, blah, blah. Are we thinking Kerry are just going to go out in the lash for the next 2 weeks? That's a fair point. Ross, thanks a million for coming in.
Pleasure as always.
I should just say before we get into the rugby, and we'll be talking rugby in the next hour, Rory O'Connor, Keith Wood on the way. In a couple of weeks, Keith's going to be alongside myself, Brian O'Driscoll and Clive Woodward, latest Off the Ball Roadshow at University Concert Hall in Limerick. So if you want to come along, you get your tickets at offtheball.com/events. And in more exciting news, another roadshow, Off the Ball Roadshow, all part of the World Cup. This one's October 15th. In Dublin, Bord Gáis Energy Theatre, Michael Lina, Chester Williams, Brian O'Driscoll, Keith, Paul Howard, and another very special guest as well. And once again, offtheball.com/events is the place to go for tickets, all in association with Heineken, official worldwide partner to Rugby World Cup Japan 2019, returning to University Concert Hall in Limerick, and then Bord Gáis Energy Theatre, Dublin. Visit drinkaware.ie. Up next, we have Keith Wood and Rory O'Connor.
Join that conversation on Facebook and Twitter.